Hi guys, in this video, let's discuss variable and data types in C++. Okay, so what we are going to do here in this video, we are going to determine all the variable and data types that are defined in this C++ and a certain facts and operations related to them. So let's see all the data types that we have in built-in data types that we have in C++. So first of all, we have int that stores a 32-bit integer. Integer means an integral value. Okay. And then we have long. Long stores 64-bit integer. What I mean by 32-bit and 64-bit is that if we are making int a, then 32-bit storage is allotted for this int, and if we are using long a, then 64-bit storage is allotted to this a. Okay. That being said, there's one thing to note here. Integer and long sizes of 32 and 64-bit respectively may depend on compiler. So, long is 64-bit in Unix and Unix-like systems, but it is 32-bit in Windows systems. Alright, so it depends on compiler that what size is allocated to integer and long. Alright. Then we also have char, that is char a, and that char basically has character, stores character. Character is basically either A, B, C, D, or a special character like this, or any number. Like, remember, whenever I'm denoting a character, we are writing it in single inverted commas. Okay. Then we have Boolean, that is bool, and this bool values only has either true or false. So either true or false. Okay. And then we have float. So let's see what float does. Float has 32-bit real numbers. Real numbers are basically including the decimal point values. Like this float, if we have float a, then we can store 12.34 in this. We can store decimal values, right? And then we also have double. Double is basically 64-bit real number. Okay. So these are basic inbuilt data types that we have in C++. Okay. Each of them has different storage, and that depends upon the compiler as well. And you can study this on many major sources that are available. Okay. So one basic thing that we can note here is that if we see this float and double, we can print from this float and double up to certain decimal places as well. Certain decimal places as well. Okay. So for that, what we have to do, we just have to write cout, and then we have to write std fixed, and then we have to write std set precision, and then we suppose that we write 2. So for this, what it will do, it will set the precision of up to 2 decimal places only, right? So if we are having like 12.434, so this precision will give only 12.43. Okay, so up to 2 decimal places it would be precised. Okay, and this is how we do it. And if you have watched the last video of C++ introduction where we discussed about Hello World, you might know that if we in the beginning itself write using namespace std, then we can omit writing these from here. Okay, we can directly write this and our work will be done. And one more thing to note, this is from IOMANIP, this file. Okay, so that means this set precision function is available in IOMANIP library. So we have to include this if we have to use the set precision in our program. Okay, now let's look at type modifiers. By type modifiers, we can modify the type of a data type. There are 4 type modifiers. One is signed, then unsigned, then short, and then long. These all change the data type in certain way. This says that we can have positive and negative both values. This says we can have only positive values. That means only absolute values. And this means that this reduces the size or storage space for a certain data type, and this increases the storage space for a certain data type. So what I mean here is that using these we can modify the data type. And one thing to note here is we can use all 4 of them on integer data type. Okay. But if we are working with float data type, then we cannot use any modifiers. If we use, it will be a compile time error. And if we are working with double, we can use only and only long with this double. We cannot use these three with double. We can use only long with this double. All right. So these were some modifiers and some ways how to use them. All right. We also have a concept of type def. Type def, where we can use this exact type def keyword to basically create a alternate name for our given data type. Suppose that we have an integer here and we want to create an alternate name for this integer. So let's create an alternate name as num. Okay. So what we have to do, we have to write type def, and then we have to write num, and then we have to write item. This, if we write this and then we do num a is equal to 5. So this would be equivalent to int a is equal to 5. So this is basically used better for understanding the code. So basically we can simply create an alias of integer with the name of num and use them. Okay. And now let's finally talk about our variables. What are variables and how we use them? I have already shown what variables are. Let me tell you how. Whenever we wrote this A is nothing but a variable, right? Variable is nothing but it is a container. See, we created here as well. We created int A, long A. These are also a container, right? So these containers that contain a value. Okay. And we give them a name, right? So we have int val is equal to 10. So if we write int val is equal to 10, that means this val is a variable with its unique name as val. This val is the unique name of this variable, and this unique name is also called identifiers. All right. And this way we can define a variable. All right. We can also change a value of a variable. If we do like val is equal to 15, you see now the value has now been updated. Okay. So these were all basic things that you need to know about data types and variables in C++. We have seen what different data types are and what are rules to print a data type up to a certain precision value. And then we have type modifiers, and we have seen on which data type we can use which data type modifier and on which data type we cannot use such type modifiers. Okay. And then we have type def. Type def is used to create an alias of a given data type. And then we have variables. Variables are basically a container that store values with a unique identifier. Alright, so that's it for this video. See you in the next one.